We're going to wait just a few minutes for others to join us, and then we'll get started, okay? All right, everyone, we will go ahead and get started. So thank you for joining with us today. This is our first Facebook Live, so bear with us in case we have any technical difficulties. My name is Shelly Long, and I'm the Manager of Communications with Family Houston. And tonight we're being joined by Rose Viviano. She's a senior clinician with us at Family Houston, and she has been with us for over 25 years. So tonight she's going to be sharing with us some tools on how to manage anxiety. If you have any questions you want to ask her, feel free to comment them, or you can message us privately. And when she is through with her presentation, she'll answer them for you. And one other thing before we get started, just in case we have anyone new joining us, I just want to give you a little background on Family Houston and who we are. So we were founded in 1904, and we have been serving the Houston community for over 115 years. We have 3 core programs: case management, mental health, and financial stability. We work with children, individuals, families, veterans, couples, and senior citizens. We help them with all sorts of things, from applying for benefits and finding financial assistance, as well as giving them tools to handle everyday stressors in life. And we also coach them to meet their financial goals, whether that be paying off debt, raising your credit score, or trying to buy a house, or anything else. So we have financial coaches, counselors, and case managers at your disposal. And if you want more information about our services or want to see how we can help you, please feel free to message us on Facebook and someone will reach out to you. Or you can call us, or you can email us. All of that is on our website and on our Facebook page, so feel free to reach out to us. Now, I am going to hand it over to Rose. So here we go.
Hi, everyone. Anxiety is defined by the American Psychological Association as an emotion characterized by feelings of tension, worried thoughts, physical changes like increased blood pressure, high blood sugar, rapid heart rate, sweating. These are the things that define the emotional state of anxiety. But anxiety needs to be distinguished from fear, because fear is very specific. I think we all can agree that we are afraid of contracting the coronavirus. And that is because it is something that is in the realm of possibility. But anxiety, on the other hand, is more free floating. It's not specific. And with regard to the current pandemic, we have both anxiety and fear working hand in hand because with the pandemic, we have had a lot of changes in our lives very suddenly. And that has made it difficult for us to predict what's going to happen. We don't realize how much we rely on our routines to help us feel secure and safe. Also, too, with the pandemic, we are told to stay home, and that makes us immobile. However, anxiety is a emotion that wants to move us to take action. And so we need, that amygdala, that little almond shaped piece that is in our brains, that is our great warrior. It protects us and it watches out for danger. It also wants to move us to act when it perceives danger. And so when we can't move, when we can't take action, this becomes extremely difficult. Also, through the pandemic, we have been experiencing a lot of loss, not only nationwide in the loss of lives, but also loss of connection. I myself didn't realize how much I rely on my colleagues saying good morning every day and just checking in, and those day-to-day interactions are simply not there when we're home. Um, and also, we've lost a sense of time. I don't know about all of you, but I've had to check my calendar every day to just make sure I know what day it is. It's hard to when we don't have our routine to keep a track of our time. The virus has made us all feel unsafe. And for those of us who have lost our jobs and have lost a certain sense of our purpose, it makes it very, very difficult. So when a person comes into my office and they have anxiety, I do not try to help them get rid of their emotion. I feel all of our emotions are extremely important. And we're all going to feel anxious or depressed or angry or even love for that matter at some time in our lives. My job is to help them deal with it in a way that it works for them instead of against them. So I think, in terms of, you got two choices when you have these emotions. You can deal with it skillfully or unskillfully. That's your choice. So let's look at some ways that we can cope and deal with these things skillfully. First and foremost is exercise. I once worked with a person who was having panic attacks, and as we explored a little background, he talked about a time when he wasn't experiencing any panic attacks, and it was because he was jogging. And so we talked about maybe the possibility of taking up jogging again. And he did. And within a very short time, um, the panic attacks had significantly subsided. Exercise helps us take care of the mobility portion of our anxiety. That energy that kicks in when we are anxious is wanting us to move. The amygdala wants to either have us run, have us stay and fight, or have us freeze like a little rabbit and hope it goes away and they don't see us. And this syndrome, or this part of the brain, it does that because it's a survival mechanism that we've had since caveman times, and it's there for our protection. Unfortunately, when people are extremely anxious, it's working overtime. So, exercise is extremely important. It helps us breathe deeper and it helps us stay healthy. The next thing I always look at is nutrition. There is truth to the saying that we are what we eat. And for times like now, it's not a good idea to eat a lot of junk food, to drink a lot of alcohol, to drink a lot of caffeine. Now, I'm not a purist. That morning cup of coffee is fine. But if you're drinking 2 or 3 pots of coffee, or you're taking 2 and 3 liters of Coke every day, um, that's not a good idea because the caffeine is a stimulant and it will make it difficult for you to manage your anxiety. So, lots of green leafy vegetables. Our sugars should come in the form of healthy fruits and balanced diet with lean meats and healthy starches. So, looking at your nutrition and really take stock because if we're physically feeling well, emotionally, it's easier for us to self regulate or manage our emotions. And then I look at proper rest. It's important that we get 7 to 9 hours of sleep every night. When we don't get enough rest, we raise the we raise our irritability. We decrease our immune system. It makes it easier for us to catch colds or flu. We're more depressed, irritable. We need our rest because when we sleep, our body resets. And it's extremely important that we get proper rest. So I start out very basic when I'm working with a client, and then we start to look at other things, other habits that we can uh, look at to help people deal with their anxiety. For instance, talking to someone. I'm kind of biased in that regard. I like to talk to people, and I know that when people talk to me and I really hear them and I can understand where they're coming from, it makes a difference and you feel better afterwards. So it's important to talk to someone you can trust, who you love or care about, or even a counselor who cares about you and wants you to feel better. And then look at activities that we can engage in that can help us calm down. So, like exercise again, or watching the birds in your backyard, or playing with your pets, or coloring, or drawing, things that we enjoy that gives us a break from our anxiety. And that way, then when we go back and start feeling our anxiety, we bring new energy into our day-to-day stress and it helps us cope more effectively. Then I look at what do we talk about or what do we say to ourselves when we talk to ourselves. Um, a lot of times when we're going through a difficult time, we say very negative things like, I can't do this, or I'm not going to make it through this month, or, I have to go out, I have to be active. Instead of recognizing that what we say has a big impact on how we feel. So I encourage people to draw up a list of affirmations, and I'm going to share with you 3 of mine. One is I am creatively and effectively addressing the challenges I have in my life. Another one, which is my absolute favorite, and is day by day. In every way, I'm getting better and better with God's grace. Or I'm doing the best that I can. And in God's eyes, that's good enough. So I tell myself these things to remind myself that I'm okay. and I'm going to get through this. And we're all together in this, and we're all going to get through this together. And then I look at gratitude. How do we, because sometimes people say, Rose, I just got this negative thinking going all the time. And I say, well, first of all, don't let a lot of negativity in. If you're watching the news morning, noon, and night, and it's very negative and very hurtful, just limit how much TV time you do. Second of all, write down just 3 things every night that you are grateful for, and make them different. And over time, you're going to realize that you start having a better attitude. You're not being as negative because you're looking around your life and you're seeing all the things that are to be grateful for. Now, they've done a lot of research with gratitude. Gratitude improves our physical health. It actually extends our lifespan by as much as a few years. It makes us nicer. So we have more social connections because people like being around people who are nicer. It also improves our sleep, and it makes us more likely to exercise and set goals. So there's a lot of good press around expressing gratitude every day. And then there is meditation. I'm a big fan of meditation. I love to meditate. And meditation is a technique that is both easy and difficult at the same time. The technique is breathe in, breathe out, don't think of anything. Well, we're Americans and we think all the time. So it's important that when we decide to do something like meditation, we try with a guided meditation, something that keeps our mind active as we're breathing. There are thousands of meditation apps on the web. You just pick one that you like, or you can pick this one of mine that I teach people. It is as I breathe in all the love, all the light, all the peace there is in the universe. I let it go from the top of my head and I feel it right down to the tips of my fingers and toes. And I hold 2, 3, and then as I breathe out, I imagine the ocean with its salty richness washing over me with a big wave and just pulling out of me all my anger, all my hatred, all my worries, all my negativity. I just let all of that go because it isn't helping me right now. And now that I'm nice and empty and I need to breathe in, I breathe in again all the love, all the light, all the peace there is in the universe. I let it go from the top of my head and I let it feel me to the tips of my fingers and toes. And I hold 2, 3, and then there's that big old wave just washing over me and pulling out of me all my anger, all my hatred, all my worries, all my sadness, all the negativity. I just let all of that go because it's not helping me right now. And I do that over and over and over again, about 5 to 10 minutes every day. You can do it 5 to 10 minutes twice a day. You will notice that at the end of your day, at the end of your month, or at the end of 6 weeks, you're going to feel significantly better. And it really does help. There's a good, hard 50-year research on the benefits of meditation. Meditation lowers blood pressure. It reduces anxiety. It boosts the immune system. It helps you stay calmer and more focused. So there's a lot of good things that help, that meditation helps. And I really encourage you to do so. And then lastly, for those of us who grew up in a home where religion and our spirituality was important, I encourage you to pray. Um, letting go and letting God can help us tremendously. And prayer is an extremely important part. It gives us comfort and solace, but it also can help sustain us through difficult times. You see, even though people are incredibly fragile, and we're beginning to see that in our day to day, we also have within us incredible strengths that help us be resilient in these difficult times. The Chinese characters for crisis is danger and opportunity. And in the words of John F. Kennedy, the Chinese used two brush strokes to write the word crisis. One brush stroke, one brush stroke is for danger, the other for opportunity. In a crisis, be aware of the danger, but recognize the opportunity. You see, even with anxiety, it goes hand in hand with courage. And anxiety, when it comes up, is a sign that we're about to be challenged to develop ourselves in a way that our courage is going to help us grow and become better and stronger for having gone through this adversity. And I truly believe that this will also be our what we will learn through this time. I thank you, and I hope this has helped.
Oh, I think I was muted there. Thank you, Rose. I think we can all agree that that was very helpful. And I want to just thank everyone for tuning in with us. And we will plan on doing another one of these. So if anyone has any topics they would like to hear from, we would love to hear from you. And otherwise, I hope.
Are there any questions that anybody has?
Mm-hmm. I don't see any questions coming in right now. I will actually ask one, though. It's a little off topic, Rose, but if we're dealing with grief or sadness right now, can you maybe just for just a quick second, maybe talk about how that can kind of relate and how normal that actually is to feel right now?
Sure. There are a lot of people going through grief right now. And actually, part of what we're experiencing through the pandemic is grief, a reaction, and it's perfectly normal. For me, it helps to find meaning in my suffering. Uh, we're, we're not alone, even though sometimes our grief makes us feel alone. Uh, and it is important to look at our grief and recognize that each day as we feel it, it gets a little less intense. And again, we will get through it, but it takes time. And we need to be especially careful and tolerant and merciful with ourselves. Treat yourself with mercy when you're feeling grief.
And Rose, I saw a question come in from Elizabeth Taylor. She wants to know if you have a gratitude journal that you recommend by chance.
Oh, gratitude journals are wonderful. I think they are. There's a couple of them out. I like Carolyn Mace's, and I love Viviano von Sant's Every Day My Soul Just Opened Up. So there are a bunch of journals out there that um, gratitude. But for me, it's more important that you just take a few minutes, because if you're going to write a lot, it might you might give it up too soon. So jot down 5 minutes, just three things you're grateful for. That's good enough. And that will work. And it will help you feel better at the end of 6 weeks.
Awesome. Thank you, Rose. Well, Rose, do you have anything else you want to share with us, or?
No, I'm good.
Okay, great. Well, thank you all again for tuning in, and thank you, Rose, for sharing your evening with us and all of your wisdom. I think we can all take that into our daily lives and use that. So thank you.
And thank you for having me.
Of course. And then lastly, before we sign off, I just want to remind everyone again the 3 programs we offer. And if anyone has any questions or if they need anything, we are here to help the community. So please reach out to us. We want to help and we're here for you. So thank you all and be safe.